We got a good week of preparation this week as well. Just had one of our hardest practices of the week, so feeling good about this heading into the next game.
When you look at what you guys were able to accomplish, I mean, how did that compare to, I guess, maybe the game one expectations for a new defense?
It was good. I feel like you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's first game of the season. We did a lot of good things. The effort was there. You got to focus on the important things. But now we're moving on to next week. We got to work hard just like everybody else in this league, and we got to prove it every week. So that was a stepping stone, things in the right direction. But we're hungry for this next week.
Mike was talking yesterday about how Zim is giving him some controls up front to adjust things. Obviously, you're wearing the green dot. Can you talk about that connection and how you guys are working to lead things out there?
Yeah, I just think it's going to be pivotal for us, this season to just get smarter as the season goes on. See what we're getting, see how people are trying to handle us, see what kind of communication we can get away with, as well as what we're seeing on the offensive side of the ball, and elevate our game. I think that's the most fun part about this defense, and that's the beauty about the NFL. It's like a chess game, and that's why I'm addicted to it.
How do you two figure out that communication? Does he look back and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this"? Or what does that look like?
I feel like it happens on the practice field first. You have to talk about what you may do, what you see, but then it's just it's playing ball. If you see something early in the first quarter, second quarter, and you get it on the last drive in the fourth quarter, and we can make it a little adjustment just by simply talking to one another. If everybody's on the same page, we play fast.
Everyone always talks about your leadership ability. Where did you learn how to become a leader?
Honestly, I don't know. I wanted to be in this position so bad as a kid, and I feel like I just don't take it for granted. At the same time, I feel like I had a solid foundation and a good moral compass. So I feel like, I lean on the people around me, those leaders around me, mentorship, all that, and I ask questions when I need to know answers, and I just try to humble myself at all times. I like it. He's got some crazy talent, and he's learning it. He's learning too. These are some of his first live reps like that, and I'm very happy with what we've done so far, and I'm very excited to keep building with him.
Did you know he was that quick?
I knew he was that quick. I've seen it, but it's different to have that game speed and to like trust yourself to have your instincts carry over into the field.
When you think about what Zim typically wants to do with his defense, and now you see what these pieces are capable of, I mean, what's the potential?
Yeah, potential is probably the worst thing you can have, right? So I think that we got to stick to that. We had a good first game. We know what we're capable of. And in the same breath, we got to work to everything we get. So I think that just staying humble and really just chasing something that none of us have ever accomplished before is going to keep us motivated.
You talked about your decision to come here because you want to play Mike, but was that something where like, hey, I agreed to terms San Francisco, and then you thought about it, you slept on, you're like, I need to play Mike, or what was the thought process ultimately?
Yeah, I feel like ultimately, I think, first of all, I want to put this to bed because I am here now, and I'm happy here, and I'm excited to be part of this defense. But in the same breath, this is what I wanted. I wanted to be with the green dot. I wanted to be in this defense. I wanted to be working with these guys, and ultimately, I made the decision for myself.
What makes Kamara such a challenge?
He's very elusive, very very shifty, but he's kind of like a Laird, so he's kind of like a very smooth athlete. Nothing is too shifty. Nothing is too he moves around very smooth and effortless, but he's moving fast. And then at the end of the day, he's like 225. So it's like you think he's kind of you think he's all finesse. You think he's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Everybody knows who I'm. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, when you go to tackle him, he's got some weight behind his pads.
It's only been 1 week, but do you see the Shanahan influence on Clint Kubiak and Saints offense?
Yeah, I feel like they have a lot of similar pieces. I don't want to say I don't want to compare them similarly, but the way they use the tight ends, the way they use the running backs, the way they have motions, quick motions, make you think on the fly, lots of confusing stuff. I would say so.
In your time being here, what's the chess match been like in practice going against the first team offense here?
Yeah, it gets so annoying during camp because we're just all like battling each other like for weeks in a row. So we know it goes so deep. It's like we know all of each other's like little checks and little communication. So it allows you to go further into the communication and see, okay, what'd you guys do? I mean, they had a check today where I didn't know what it was, and they slid the line a certain way, and it was like, for me, it was like, okay, why'd you do this? Is this something we could see in the future? Could I see this in a game? And how can we change what we're doing to help combat it?
Who are you working against in that situation? Is it kind of like you versus Dak?
It depends. Every offense is different. Sometimes it's with the guards, sometimes centers, sometimes it's quarterbacks. Sometimes running backs will give it away. You got to look at for all the keys and go from there.